Oh, hello, my name is Alain Wase. So today I'll be walking you through different steps of making coffee using a filter. I'll also show you how to clean up the coffee equipment. So to move forward, I have different equipments that I'll be using in making this coffee using a filter. So I'll need a filter, and these cups I'll use them to filter this coffee. I also need coffee, which is here. I have milk powder. I also have sugar, and I have hot water that I will be using, and also the coffee cup that I will need to pour my coffee once it is done. So to move forward, let's start with the step one. So the step one for this method is to place the filter on top of the cup and fill it with coffee. So this is to say that I'll take my cup that I'll be using to filter the coffee and I'll take my filter and put it on top of that cup and then fill it with the coffee. So I'll take my cup and also the filter, put it on top of this cup. Then I'll fill this filter with coffee. This is my coffee. So I'll use the coffee depending on the amount of coffee that I want to make. So for this, I will just use 1 teaspoon of coffee, and I fill it. I fill the filter with this coffee. So like I was saying, so I'll just use this cup and then the filter filled with this coffee. So this is the coffee that I'll be using to filter and get the coffee that I will need to fill in this cup. So now proceeding to the next step, which is step number two, we'll have to pour and pass the boiling water over the filter filled with coffee. So this is to say I'll take my hot water and I pour it in the filter which I filled with coffee so as to get our coffee in the cup that I'll be using. So the next step is to get my hot water, which is in this flask, and then I pour it in through this filter that is filled with coffee. So this is my hot water. I'm going to pour it slowly and gently so that I'll pour it in a circular motion so as to get a very great coffee in my cup. So this is what I'm doing. Pouring the hot water through the filter that is filled with coffee. So it looks like I got the amount of coffee that I need to use for now. So like I've been explaining for this step, it's just getting the hot water that you had boiled earlier, and then you pour it in this filter to get this coffee that I've been looking for. So for step number three, we'll go ahead and add more ingredients. So if many people like black coffee or coffee with cream, so for this video I'm going to add cream and sugar, which are the ingredients that I'm talking about. So I'll be adding the cream and sugar and show you how the coffee will turn out to be while you have just added these ingredients. So after filtering my coffee, I'll get rid of this filter. I'll put it right here. So I'll get my coffee that I've made and pour it in the coffee cup that I had put here. Then I'm going to add the ingredients. So I'll take my sugar and also my milk powder. So let me first put the milk powder. I'll just put 3 tablespoons, and I also add sugar. So I put sugar, 3 tablespoons also. So as you can see, my coffee is turning to a whitish color, which is because I added a milk powder and also coffee. So for those people who don't like coffee with cream or milk powder, they can just take this black coffee and just add coffee and just add sugar, and then they can enjoy their amazing coffee, or they can add the cream and have a creamy coffee, which is also amazing, and this method of making the coffee is considered as the purest way of making coffee, because there's no other things that we have added. It's just the coffee we've put in the filter, and then put the hot water, and come up with a great black coffee, and also add some cream and sugar, then we get a creamy coffee. Oh, now the last step for this method is cleaning the coffee equipment. So of course, if you use some equipment, you need to clean them up for to be able so that they can be used for another round of making coffee, or some further ways or things you can do with the equipment. So the materials we will need to clean these equipment is the soap, the sponge, and warm water. So we use a soap to remove the remains, as well as the sponge to remove the remains of coffee in these materials, and we will use warm water to clean it out and make it clean for another use of maybe to make more coffee or some other things. So after making our coffee, and it is ready to be given to maybe the customers, or you can also take it. So now we're going to get rid of the dirty materials that we've been using. So I'll get rid of the coffee, the milk powder, and the sugar and the water. So these are the equipment we're going to use, because they are the ones that are dirty. So I'll put them in the water that is filled with the soap, and also use the sponge to clean it out. I'll clean my cup. Then after that, I'll use clean water to clean it well. Now my first cup is cleaned. I also clean the second cup with a sponge and the warm water filled with the soap. And I also use the clean water to clean it well. Also, this one is ready. Then I'll clean also my filter with a sponge. I use the clean water to clean it well and make it ready for the next use. And then finally, all my equipments are well cleaned and ready to be used for further purposes. So I think that will be all for this video, and I think you're now ready to make your coffee using only a filter, and be able to enjoy your amazing and the purest coffee you can ever have.